President Dilma Rousseff told world leaders on Monday that it was absurd to try to stop people from migrating, a sharp criticism of European handling of the refugee crisis. In a world where trade, money, information, and ideas circulate freely, it is absurd to impede the free movement of people, Rousseff said in her opening speech at the UN's 70th General Assembly in New York. The Brazilian president, the incumbent of which has traditionally opened the UN's general debate since 1947, reminded the assembly that multiethnic Brazil was a welcoming country made of refugees that had learned to live with its differences. Rousseff's Bulgarian father arrived in Brazil in the 1930s. The Brazilian leader also urged the immediate creation of a Palestinian state, and defended the expansion of the UN Security Council, for which Brazil is vying for a permanent seat, to include a larger number of permanent and non-permanent members. Rousseff also praised the diplomatic agreement struck on Iran's nuclear program and the thaw in bilateral relations between the United States and Cuba, urging an end to the trade embargo on the Caribbean island. She used her platform to try to reassure global markets that Brazil's troubled economy did not have grave structural flaws but was rather in a moment of transition to another cycle of economic expansion, despite entering a deep recession and battling inflation above 9%, and the highest level of unemployment in years. Rousseff defended the Brazilian economy as stronger, more solid, and resilient than it was years ago, as it tries to stave off further downgrades by ratings agencies after Standard & Poor's recently revised down the country's debt rating to junk status. A central bank survey of more than 100 economic institutions forecast Monday that Brazil's GDP would shrink 2.8% this year, as well as contracting 1% in 2016. The Brazilian leader ended her speech by extending a global invite to next year's Summer Olympic and Paralympic Games in Rio de Janeiro.